It is 6 o'clock here on this Monday, this MLK Day. A lot of events going on around the metro here today to honor the legacy of Dr. King.
Hey, you're going to be at a breakfast and then another. You're busy all morning.
Yeah, I'll be running around
town.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting out there and honoring Dr. King's legacy.
Yeah, and there's a lot of volunteer opportunities folks can look at too. We'll be talking more about that later in the show. We'll also be talking about how freezing cold it is.
I know it. Always around this year. We are in the coldest week of the year. We like to call this 100 degrees below comfortable instead of the actual temperature. Isn't that, it's 100 degrees below where I'd like it, at least. 30 below for the wind chill. It's 8. It feels like, well, we went to 24 now. And that's only with an 8-mile-per-hour wind, so we got a ways to go. I kind of like being at rock bottom because then, you know what I mean, right? There's only way up. So this is it. 17 below zero in Thief River. Marshall at 13 below. It is cold up to the north. I got to go. I'm going up to Lake to the Woods this weekend, and I actually am very excited. I was nervous until this week. So we're seeing the winds. Like I said, this is the issue. It's always going to be windier out in the west. Thief River Falls is pushing 40. Rochester all morning at 37 below. They've got down to 39 below. Super cold morning. We actually got to talk about a warm-up, a decent warm-up in your forecast.
A lot of us looking forward to that. Thanks, John. Let's give you a look at the roads. It is quiet. Expected to be quiet on the roads all day today, as it is MLK Junior Day. Schools closed, offices closed. No crashes out there, no delays. Drive times looking good. Well, hey, these temperatures are brutal, even for us hardy Minnesotans. No secret.
I'm glad you guys are admitting that.
It's cold.
And doctors are concerned that people who love the outdoors may push themselves too far in this dangerous cold that we're seeing. So our Cece Gaines is bundled up in the backyard with some important reminders for you this morning. Cece, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, I'm lucky that I'm right next to the studio where I can just dart in here anytime soon. But I know a lot of you will be inside today, but I know there's also going to be some of you who are going to brave the cold. So if you are doing that, I want you to be aware of two things: hypothermia and frostbite. So we know that hypothermia is caused by prolonged exposure to very cold temps. So just keep an eye out if you're shivering, dizzy, confused, really tired, lacking coordination. Frostbite, on the other hand, that can sneak up on you pretty quick. So if you notice any skin discoloration or a painful or prickly sensation in an arm, finger, or toe, you should make a plan to get back inside and make sure to remove wet or damp clothing.
The temperatures that we're going to have in the wind chills, the minus 10, minus 20 degrees, it only takes a matter of minutes, 15, 20 minutes before frostbite can start to set in.
Pets, of course, too, to think about. They have that kind of built-in protection from the cold at times, so they may want to stay out for that walk a little longer today, but just try to wrap it up a little quicker than normal, especially today. Coming up in about 30 minutes, we're going to hear from doctors about how you can keep your kids safe if they're going outside today on their day off. Guys.
Yeah, not the day to mess around with Mother Nature. Do not be that girl or guy today. All right, Cece, thank you very much.
Despite the colder weather, officials are still warning people to be careful out on the lakes. Friday, we learned an Isle man died after his truck fell through the ice on Lake Mille Lacs. The sheriff's office says a 911 caller noticed the truck in the water and a man lying nearby. That caller was able to get the man to shore, but he later died at the hospital. Authorities say the ice was about 6 inches thick and should be double that before it's safe for a truck. Further north at Upper Red Lake, 2 fishermen were rescued last Thursday night after falling through the ice. The men were on a UTV when the ice broke and were pulled ashore by bystanders. One of the men was sent to the hospital with a broken hand and hypothermia. This rescue is just one of many at Upper Red Lake this winter. It also happened a few days after officials lifted a vehicle restriction on the lake.
Across the country today, millions are getting slammed with an Arctic blast, everything from snowstorms to dangerously low temps. So out east, parts of New York are under a winter storm warning. Forecasters say there's a chance for snow tonight into tomorrow morning that could make roads there slick. That's already on top of the snow they already got over the week that pushed snow totals in some areas over 2 feet. Wind out there also caused some major damage over the weekend. Meanwhile, people across the upper Midwest and Great Lakes region saw blizzard-like conditions. In some parts of Wisconsin, people got more than a foot of snow. And for thousands in Milwaukee, they lost power following a powerful storm. And then in Iowa, places there saw up to 10 inches of snow and wind chills like we're seeing here as low as 20 below.
And with this bad weather comes even more travel headaches. Right now at MSP Airport, we're seeing 19 canceled flights and 7 delays. This comes after hundreds of flights were canceled over the weekend and across the country. A reminder, if you do have to fly out today, just check your flight status in case there's delays. And stay up to date with the cold weather be sure to download this KARE 11 app. You can get live radar, weather alerts, and custom forecasts anytime. You can find it where you get your apps or by scanning the QR code.
6:05 on the clock, big day on the political calendar. Today marks the official start of the presidential nominating process, and tonight Iowa Republicans will brave the sub-zero wind chills as they head to school gyms, churches, and community centers to choose who they want to see in the Oval Office. Now, among the 4 candidates, the polls still show former President Trump is the clear frontrunner in that state, but there is a tight race right now for number 2. This morning, the latest polls show Nikki Haley has jumped in front of Ron DeSantis for second place. So it all comes down to this ultimately: who will get a ticket out of Iowa?
Particularly that's true for Ron DeSantis. A third-place finish here in Iowa would just be detrimental to his campaign. He has the endorsements from Iowa's sitting Governor Kim Reynolds. He visited all 99 Iowa counties, has a great organization.
A turnout will be very important to the candidates tonight. We'll be watching how the bitter cold might affect turnout. Make sure you stay with our KARE 11 team in Iowa all day long. And coming up after sunrise, the Today Show will have team coverage of the caucus. They're going to have more from the candidates and talk to voters ahead of the big day.
Time 6:06 here on your Monday. This morning, a sad update, in a school shooting that happened in Perry, Iowa earlier this month. In the last 24 hours, we learned Perry High's principal died from his injuries. Witnesses said Dan Marburger was a hero, distracting the 17-year-old shooter so others could escape. Marburger worked in the Perry Community School District for more than 25 years.
We are live this morning from the National Mall in Washington, D.C. on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Today marks what would have been Dr. King's 95th birthday. And in just a few hours, people all over the country will honor him with several celebrations. Right here in the Twin Cities Metro, the 34th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Holiday Breakfast kicks off at 8 this morning at the Minneapolis Convention Center. The event is also raising money to help underrepresented college students in the area. And then later this morning, Governor Walz and Lieutenant Governor Flanagan are hosting One Dream, One Minnesota, the state's 38th annual MLK holiday celebration at the Ordway Center. This event is free and open to the public and begins at 10:30.